All right, guys. In this video, I'm going to be showing everyone how to go from zero to $10,000 a month organically. This is the exact same workflow that I used to scale two of my service-based businesses up to over $10,000 a month at the age of 17 years old. And this is without ads. And basically, this is exactly how we did it. So, who am I? My name's Caleb. I'm the CEO of Spawn and Mobile Detailing and Pure Water Okanagan. These are two service-based companies that we've been running in Kelowna, BC, and this is our fourth year. We're super, super honored. Each year, we have the privilege to serve thousands of homeowners all across the Okanagan. Both these businesses do well over six figures in annual revenue every single season, even though we only operate around 5 to 6 months a year. And this year, we were honored to have a team of 12 guys with us this 12 guys with us this year, from all the way from sales to fulfillment. So it was a really big treat watching our guys grow, watching our businesses grow. And I know a lot of people are stuck underneath the $10,000 a month mark. A lot of people try to overcomplicate it. It's really not that complicated. So I'm just going to give you guys the two methods, the two frameworks that I used to go to over $10,000 a month. And if it's helpful, awesome. If it's not, then I honestly don't know what to say. It's worked for me. It works for other people too. So I'm just on here to drop as much free value as possible. So let's get right into it. Method number one. I am the biggest door-to-door fan. I love door-to-door. Yes, door-to-door is getting a little bit more saturated. Um, we can thank the Oliver Lester brothers for that down in Calgary. Um, yeah, long story short, door-to-door is very, very oversaturated. So it's very hard to position yourself differently than a lot of guys out there. Because at least I know for myself down here in the Okanagan, there's hundreds upon hundreds of reps all the way from like ranging in every single industry from solar to roofing to window washing to vehicle detailing, to Kangen water machines, like whatever you think, people sell it door to door here in Kelowna. So um this is just a framework that we've been using for 4 plus years on our sales guys. This is the framework that we use when we go out to sell. And this is the framework that we use when we teach other businesses this exact same framework to go over $10,000. So just want to come on, share it for free, and hope that at least one person gets a good amount of value out of this video. So what is the goal of door to door? What is the purpose? It is for people to know, to like, and to trust you. Those are the only three things that people need to do in order to buy from you. They need to know, like, and trust you. Once you've checked all three of those boxes off, your prospect is going to be 110% more likely to buy from you. In door to door, what do you kind of expect with the mindset if you've never done it before? Um, it's tough. You can go out, you can sell thousands every day, or sorry, you can sell thousands one day, and you can go out the next day and get bageled. I like to think of door to door as kind of like a game, right? You're gonna have big swings, you're gonna have amazing days, and then you're gonna have a huge swing, and you're gonna have a horrible day. But I cannot express this enough. The people that are successful in door to door are the people that find their flow. It is so, so, so important to find your flow. And I did mark it down right there. Um, I'm not talking watching a guy on Instagram and then hopping on to find his flow. You can't be copying someone else's flow. You got to put the time in to know how you say it, what your body language is doing, what your facial expressions are doing, and then you just play around with that, and then you find your flow, and then you rip. But you need to find your own flow. Awesome. Delivery. I like to keep it simple. Two options. Really, there's only two options. You're either talking to a male or you're talking to a female. That's it. You're only talking to two types of people, male, female. It doesn't matter if they're 10, it doesn't matter if they're 100. They're still going to be male or female. So for a male, I like to keep it kind of like a calm, slow, late night radio tone. It's going to sound something like this. Knock on the door, nice 50-year-old opens up. I go, "Hey, sir, how's it going today? My name's Caleb," or something like that. Um, if I knock on the door and it's a nice grandma or a middle-aged mom coming out, I'm gonna be more upbeat, friendly, higher energy. It's gonna sound something like this. "Hey, miss, how's it going? My name's Caleb." Blah 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 blah. Right? But just a little bit of tone difference, and I find that just playing around with these two tones has the biggest advantage when it comes to just talking with people, because if you're able to tone match, if you're able to pick up on the tones and match the customer tones, they're going to be more likely to carry the conversation on with you just because it feels more natural. All right. Now that we basically covered everything about door to door, I'm gonna break everything down and we're gonna do it into a four-part framework. So this is the exact same framework that I use to teach my guys, to teach other guys. Um, it's worked really, really well for me, and we don't try to overcomplicate it. We want to keep everything as simple as possible because the goal is for us to simple information, give you a framework. When you go to a door, you fill in the blanks. We don't want to overcomplicate your mind. We don't want you to sound like a robot. We want you to find your own flow. So, four parts goes into the greeting, the summary, the quote, and the close. That's it. Greeting, summary, quote, and close. Greeting, summary, quote, and close. Greeting, summary, quote, and close. That's all it is. We're not overcomplicating it. It's four simple parts, four separate quadrants. Let's dive right into it. The greeting. Now, in my opinion, I would say that the greeting is the most important part of the pitch. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure strangers, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure people judge you within the first 10 seconds of meeting you. And so at the door, it's the exact same thing. People have about a 10-second gap to put a judgment on you. Is this guy handsome? Is this kid ugly? Does this kid clean cut? Is this kid wearing a stained shirt? Does this kid look proper? It's just like it sounds horrible to say, but this is what's running through the homeowner's brain. So our goal is to create a warm connection with them in under 10 to 20 seconds. Now, I like to break the sorry about that. It's a bug. Now, I like to break the gradient up into two sections, and A and B. And I really think a lot of prospects miss section A. And it's so, so simple, but not a lot of people doing this. Before I get into it, I just want you to think. You are not the only guy selling door to door in your city. At least I know here in Kelowna, there's hundreds of reps. There's reps all the way from painting guys, solar guys, roofing, Kangen water, window washing, vehicle detailing, landscaping, deck installs, like garage cleaning, mobile oil change. Like man, people are knocking doors for everything. So you got to think, you are just another guy knocking a door. What is going to separate you? Like seriously, what is going to separate you from the past 100 guys that's knocked on their door? And it's so simple. You're the only guy to check in with them. You're the only guy to knock on the door, and before you go into your pitch, you ask them, "How are you doing?" And it's crazy. It is so crazy because it's so simple, but it's not talked about enough. It's like, hey, how are you? How was your day? Like I absolutely love I love your dress. I think your hair looks beautiful. Something like that, right? You're just gonna ask them how they're doing, and it falls into B. You're gonna want to break the ice with something small, just something small. For example, if I'm walking up to a nice big home and they have a turquoise painted front door. The back of my brain goes off. It goes ding, 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 ding. This person just painted their front door turquoise. Now, the only reason someone paints their front door turquoise is one, to match their garage color. That's one. Or two, it's because they want people to notice. That's it. It's either to match their garage color or for people to notice and to get complimented on it. It's like when people drive nice cars. They want people to notice. When people have a nice house, they want people to notice. People with a nice front garden and nice front lawn, they do that because they want people to notice. That's all it is. So let's just review the greeting and then we'll move on. Knock on the door. They open up. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to ask them how they are doing. Super simple check in. Listen. We're always going to want to listen. We listen to the response, and then we could go into breaking the ice. So you have a beautiful dress, or your turquoise front door is amazing, or you have a really cute dog, or whatever, right? It needs to be something. It needs to be something original, though. It can't be like what's a super used one? It's like, oh, that's a ferocious guard dog. Guy's going to be like, buddy, the last 30 reps have said that. Get off my front porch. But I bet you if he comes no shirt, I bet you if your prospect comes and he's not wearing a shirt and you go, holy crap, sir, you're freaking jacked. I wish I could look that jacked when I'm older. That guy's gonna be like, frick yeah, yeah, I am jacked, and I'm gonna give this kid a he just starts vibing with you. He just starts vibing with you. That's the whole goal. The whole goal is for these people to vibe with you. You gotta find your flow. Now, in the greeting, it is super important. You want to be smiling. Your body language needs to be open, so that just looks like shoulders are laid back. You're walking up to the door smiling. Before you even hop on their property, you should be smiling. And I always tell all my prospects this because a lot of people have cameras. They have the Zoom doorbells, they have the ring side cameras, they have the circle cameras. People are always watching, whether you think they are or they aren't. So you got to always remember to carry yourself in a positive way. Carry yourself in a way that's going to make people want to talk to you, want to buy from you. And two is you're not selling, you're setting the tone for the conversation. So the greeting, you just want to make it short. You're not selling yet. You're just setting the tone. Awesome. Summary. Now, what is the goal of the summary? It is who you are, why you're here, and what you offer. And you got to figure out how you can express those points without yapping for 5, 10 minutes, because it can happen. Because say I'm selling vehicle detailing, okay? I'm passionate about cars. But this homeowner might not be passionate about cars as much as I am. So we just got to make sure that when we are in this part for the summary, it needs to be clear, it needs to be concise, and it needs to be it just needs to flow. So I'm going to teach you guys how to flow the summary part. I like to break it up into 4 sections: A, B, C, and D. Now, when I first start in the summary after the greeting, I always like to tell the homeowner, let me keep it quick. Now, the reason I say this is a lot of times people will knock on your door and they'll go on a big speech, and you look down at your watch and it's been 7, 8 minutes. You're like, okay, like when can I hop inside? I got something cooking on the stove or something. I find that when I tell homeowners or someone that I am trying to get to buy, hey, I'm gonna keep it quick, that reassures them in their brain, okay, I'm not going to be here for 10, 20 minutes. I'm going to be here for maybe, a minute, 2 minutes. I can do that. And then that's when I introduce them with myself, or sorry, I introduce my name. So, hey, sir, I'm going to be super, super quick. My name's Caleb. Okay, simple. B, credibility. So let's keep it quick. Now you want to be credible. So where you're from or some social proof in line. Now, credibility can be anywhere from if you're a student and you're going to school. Say that you're a student. People love to buy from students. If you're in university, hey, miss, I'm a university student trying to pay for my education. Like, are you kidding? Like seriously, are you actually kidding? Like, that is the most credible that you can be because now you have people feeling empathetic for you. Oh, this is a hardworking student who's paying for his own education. I want to support. Just like that. Another thing for credibility, it could be your company. So for ours, I always like to point down at my logo. I go, yeah, we're from Spot On Mobile Detailing. We've been serving the Okanagan for 4 plus years. Credible company, and I have a little bit of social proof in 4 plus years or whatever. Now, number C, you got to keep it real, right? So many of these door-to-door guys, especially online, you'll hear them name drop, and it's all the same speech. It's yeah, we've done Susie 2 doors down, and we've done Jim. Jim? Do you know Jim? Yep, Jim. One more down across the road on the corner. Then your prospect's gonna go there and be like, "Who the fuck is Jim?" like, like I don't know Jim. It's like honestly, they don't care. If you have someone in the neighborhood, use them. But if you don't, there's no point in line. People will sniff out bullshit so fast. It is so easy to sniff out bullshit. So when you're on the doors, again, you got to keep it real. And that goes back to my one point at the top. It's just finding your flow. How are you going to find your flow? How are you going to keep it real? D is now after you've, okay, I'm going to keep it quick. My name's Caleb. I added a little bit of credibility. Yeah, I'm a student paying for my own education. Hey, and then C, I kept it really, really real. Miss, I'm actually not doing anyone in the neighborhood today, but I did have a call out from 2 doors down, Susan. She gave me a call. I went and I quoted up all of her vehicles. As a company policy, we always like to knock three doors down in each direction. Something like that, you know? I bent the truth a bit, but it flowed nicely, and I was still honest. I was still honest, right? I'm not faking. I'm being honest. Then once you're there, boom, you hit them with what you're selling. Now, this is interesting because my twin brother and I, we have two very, very different selling tactics. I am more of a pushy salesman, especially for door to door. I feel like it is more important to be a little bit more pushy, because it is a one-time service, and a lot of people often offer the same services. So I will go right into what I'm selling after all these three steps before. So I'll be like, "Yep, I do vehicle detailing. We do the full interior, exterior, blah 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 blah. If you want to just pop your garage open, put your shoes on, and come outside with me, I will blah blah blah. Get you a quick quote." Andrew's approach is you go through the greeting, the summary, and then you drag the summary on so long that they don't even know what you're selling until they ask you. Like you just get into a nice conversation with them, and then eventually these people are like, "Hey, why are you at my door?" And then that's when you transition them into like, "Oh, my bad. You cannot get me talking, or I just can't stop. I'm so sorry. I'm actually here because Susan now," or like, you know what I mean? You just flow with it. You just find your flow. That's it. Now, once you've found your flow, you've told them what they're selling, they want it done. Now you go into the quoting stage. One more thing I'm really just gonna quickly add is for D on what you're selling, once you're once you're telling them what you are selling, so whether that's like window washing or vehicle detailing, I always like to like think of assertive things I can say that don't come across as pushy in order to get them outside. So if it's like a mom, I'll be like, "Hey miss, why don't you just put your shoes on?" Like I'll point. I'll be like, "Why don't you just put those shoes on, go pop open your garage, and I'll meet you." And as I'm saying that, I'm already walking to the garage, right? Because I know in order to set myself up for that quote, I need to see a vehicle, right? If I'm selling window cleaning on the doors, miss, come outside with your slippers. They're not gonna get dirty. They're not gonna get dirty. I just want to show you something. You bring them over to the frame or whatever, you wipe the frame, and there's a whole bunch of dirt on your fingers. Then you just hold up your finger and you just get them to look, right? But you're positioning yourself for the quote. Now, what is a quote? And what is the goal of a quote? It is to position the quote by asking simple questions that either pulls towards a desire or away from a pain. That's all it is. You're either pulling your prospect towards a desire or away from a pain. That's it. Now, for the quote, I keep it conversational, and I cannot express this enough. You are guiding them. You are not pushing. And there is a big difference between guiding and pushing. I find that the best way to kind of overcome the pushing is by using question-based selling. The best person in the industry is Jeremy Miners. Question-based selling. We've learned so much from him, so much from his book, so much from his live webinars, his coaching. Question-based selling is very, very important. So I have three examples here. These are not specific examples that I use to a daily day basis, but I thought that we could just go through these and I can just express how a question like this would be useful. So, context and usage. How often do you usually get this done? Great question to ask. It's like, yeah, like if I'm selling vehicle detailing, miss, how often do you normally get this done? Oh, I get this done twice a year. Okay, now you can play off twice a year. Okay, does that mean you do it once in the fall, once in the spring? No, no, I actually do it twice in the summer. Oh, okay. Do you normally do it your first service in April and then to end the season in September? And then they're like, no, I do it May and June or whatever. Like whatever, honestly, it may be. You're just asking them questions in order to uncover a bigger issue. There's problem specific questions. So any tough spots you've noticed, like on the carpets, the seats, or the outside paint, you just want them to talk, right? You don't want to point out the specific issue. Your goal is for them to point out the issue, for them to realize, oh, you know what? Yeah, there is. my headliner in my vehicle is a little bit stained. Now that's just going to be thinking, but now in your brain you're like, oh, it's like it's a headliner. Like I can just extract that, take that stain right out for them. But in their eyes, that's a bigger issue. And then I got one for budget and expectation. So it's like, hey, would you rather keep it quick and simple or go all in to get and get every surface covered? So this is like if I'm selling a different type of packages at the door for detailing. It's like, hey, I could do a quick wash and wax and a quick vac and wipe. That would be 250. Or I can do full bumper to bumper work for 300. So you're spending an extra $50 and you're getting whatever, more value or however you want to position your offer. So once we have got the quote, so say I'm quoting a vehicle, I'm like, yeah, the vehicle is going to cost between 300 to 400 bucks. We use an honor system based for pricing. It's going to cost between 300 to 400 bucks. Um, blah 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 blah. We go into the close. Now, the quote and the close, they are very similar, but they're very different. The goal of the quote is you're just going to use question-based selling to uncover the issues of what they need, and then just dabble in how much information can you get out. The close is ultimately your goal is to make it easy. You make it easy for them to say yes. That's all it is. The close is you just want them to say yes because yes translates into a sale. That's all it is. You want it to make it easy for them to say yes. Now, I break the close into three parts, 2 to 3 parts. Again, it's a framework. I can't express this enough. After you're done your quote, you need to compliment before the number, right? You gotta start buttering them up. The goal is you're not right, like we talked about this. You're guiding them, you're not pushing them. You're educating them, you're not selling them. That's been our whole philosophy through this whole funnel. Is it's just you're being yourself. You're being who you are. You're not putting on a fake identity, right? People are gonna buy from you because, like I said at the start, they know, they like, and they trust you. That's all it is, guys. So before I ever drop the number for any service I'm selling, whether it's window cleaning, vehicle detailing, roofing, whatever it may be, I always make sure I have a compliment. Hey, miss, your front garden area is so beautiful. Hey, miss. Hey, sir, your home is actually spectacular. I wish that once I'm a little bit older that I have enough money to buy a home like this. Like this is beautiful. You just want to be super real with them. Like if they have a pair of golf clubs in their garage, you can even say something like, "You big golfer? Like what's your handicap?" And then you get them talking about golf. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite course. What's your favorite hole? Oh, I love hole nine. Like it's a par three. One time I actually shot a hole in one there. You're just getting them talking. That's all it is because you're warming them up to almost hit them with the price. We're not hitting them with the price. So we're warming them up. We're warming them up. So they went from here to here, but now we want them to go to here. So how are you gonna do that? We are gonna restack our value. This is awesome, right? Value stacking is so sick. So it could be something like we could rerun them through on what we're gonna do. So we're doing the interior, the exterior. We're gonna throw on a free ceramic wax, and we're gonna throw on a free carpet extraction or whatever it could be, right? Whatever you feel like your value is, or hey, we're not gonna charge you transportation fee because Becky right down the road took it for the team, or something like that. Just like fun, something like just easy, something easy. That's all it is. You're just stacking the value, and then you hit them with the price. So you compliment before the number and then you restack the value, and then you hit them with the price. So once you've hit people with the price, it's either going to go two ways. It's either going to be a yes or a no. I find that when I'm on the doors, I'd say I have about 10% of people that actually open their doors that I talk to who it's yes. They're like, oh, 100%, I want this done. If that happens, amazing. You get booked on the counter, you're gone, right? Now, 90% of the time, people say no. Don't get discouraged though. Like seriously, don't get discouraged on when people say no, because oftentimes you can flip that no into a yes by looping. So you go back up to the quote, which is like question-based selling. So you just find certain points and you just want to loop, loop, loop. And the 2 points on the looping is it's either going to be a price issue or a value issue. That's it. Like it's either the price or the value. If it's the price, okay, now we know it's a money issue, so we're gonna drop the price by X amount depending on how bad we want this client. If it's a value issue, awesome. Price is amazing. We just got value stack it a little bit more. So maybe you throw on a free maintenance wash, or you throw on a free 25% off for your next service, or like really whatever it is. Like it doesn't matter. But you've got to dial it down to either is it the price or the value? Price or value. That's it. So that's my door-to-door framework. It's not super complex. It's actually super simple when you break it down. 4 sections: the greeting, the summary, the quote, and the close. That's all it is, guys. We don't want to overcomplicate it. We want to build you guys out a framework that you can semi-follow, and then you plug and play your own flow. So that's method number one. Now, method number two that honestly gets slept on a little bit is Facebook groups. Understand that this is the most organic grind that you can get. Um, I'm still in the Facebook groups. Why? Because it works. Now, I'm not in the Facebook groups that are like de beginner detailers or window washers experts or whatever groups those are. I'm in the I'm selling used clothing for moms, or uh, join this group if you have a set of twins, or mission moms, or luxury dad boat club, or something like that. Like the super niche down groups that actually have real people in them, like real people in your community are in these groups. Um, Oftentimes the issue is you're gonna have to kind of like forge a kind of like an application. So you're gonna have to forge like your address, probably your like where you live, maybe even your name in order to get in these groups because they don't want solicitors in them. But no, like Facebook groups are so underrated. Once I'm in the Facebook groups, I always like to post, two value pieces and then a portfolio piece. Honestly, it really does not matter. Um, as long as you're engaging with people in the group and you're being nice and respectful, and you're not hassling you're not hassling the group. You're just being like, yeah, you know what, my name's Caleb. I'm a local student down in Kelowna. I do XYZ. So yeah, guys, those are my two methods on how to make $10,000 organically. It has worked for me in two of my service-based businesses. I think we actually hit our first 10K month at 17 years old. So we were back in grade 11, I want to say. I want to say grade 11 was my first 10K month. And then every year it's been just up from there. Um, yeah, this is straight organic without ads. What I did want to say though is if you made it, honestly, if you made it this far in the video and you're still watching and you're kind of like at the point where you're like, yeah, you know what? I've tried Facebook groups, I've tried door to door, it's still not working. Give me a text, I'll help you out with ads. We do everything pay per lead. We've been doing lead gen for just over a year now. We've done it for businesses all the way from financial advisors to service-based business owners to AI companies, basically full spectrum of different industries, even a fractional CEO. So yeah, like super neat. I honestly doubt anyone is gonna make it this far in the vid, but if they do, and that sounds like you, feel free to reach out. Seriously, I'm not gonna bite. So yeah, thank you so much for letting me yap. Hopefully you guys got something kind of value stacked out of that. And yeah, if you guys need help with that, just give me a text down below and hope to see you guys soon. There you guys.